Hi, how you doing? Aaron here. In this video, I'm going to show you how to diagnose your battery. Maybe you're having some issues with it, you think it's bad, a shop is telling you that it's bad and it needs to be replaced, but you don't think so. Your vehicle died on you, your vehicle won't start. All these things could be a problem with your battery, but I'm going to let you know in this video how to make sure it's your battery, and I'm going to tell you how a battery works so you fully understand what you're doing and what you're testing for. And I'm going to show you a couple tricks and a couple things to test for that could be acting as a bad battery, but it's actually something quite simple. So before this video begins, please make sure to like and subscribe. That helps me out a lot. I hope you find this video helpful, so let's get on with it. Alright, first things first. Most cars deal with a 12-volt battery, unless you're working on some big motorhome or a semi or something that has a 24-volt system. This applies to you. So here we have a 12-volt battery. Each 12-volt battery is comprised of 6 cells. Each cell contains 2.12 volts. So if we times 6 by 2.12 volts, we should get about 12.7 volts. That is a fully charged battery. So when we're doing our test right now, we're actually going to do an unload test with the vehicle off. We're going to see what kind of voltage we have. Fully charged battery, and then is 12.7, and then as you go down to 12, the life or the battery condition lessens and lessens and lessens as you go down to 12. So anywhere in between here is acceptable, but a fully charged battery, brand new out of the box or in good shape, is 12.7. Okay, so the first step we're going to need to do is just test the battery voltage. What you're going to do is get yourself a voltmeter. If you got one, great. Set it to 12, or not 12, set it to volts DC, direct current. It's what these batteries operate on, not AC. So go ahead, hook up your positive and your negative side of your terminals, and right here we have 12.6. Right off the bat, it seems a little bit low, but it's still within that okay range. Battery is about 1 year old, so it's kind of par for the course. Here in Arizona, I take care of a large fleet of vehicles. I'm always working on these batteries and all these vehicles, and summer is pretty hard on these batteries, so seeing 2 years out of a battery is pretty normal. So there we are with our first test. We just see what the standing voltage is, and that's 12.2. Next step we're going to do is actually a loaded test, and you can do this 2 ways. I have a nice little load tester here where I won't need to start the vehicle and have somebody look at the gauge, but what I'll show you how to use this in a minute. But what you're going to want to do is you're going to start your vehicle and have somebody look at your voltmeter, or have somebody start the vehicle and you look at the voltmeter, and this voltage should not go below 9 volts. If it does, your battery's way too weak. It's either undercharged or bad. That's when you're going to need to do a little bit more diagnosis. But good rule of thumb is if your battery's over 1 year old and it's going below 9 volts, it's bad. So while cranking, watch your numbers, make sure they don't go below 9. If they do, buy yourself a new battery or charge it and retest. One thing that is nice about this voltmeter is it has a min and max button. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to do this off camera, is I'm going to hold down the min button, and I'm going to watch to see what the voltage comes down to, so I don't have to have a second person here, which I don't. So as you can see, I just got done doing the test, and it looks like this captured 10.62. So we're about 6/10 of a way from 9 volts, or just 9.9 volts. So this battery is good. It's not as strong as I want it, but it's good for now. I'm going to show you a couple other things real quick without a voltmeter. I got this tool at Harbor Freight. It's pretty handy. It only cost me like 20 bucks. It's a little load tester, and what it does is it actually replicates about 300 amps of draw. So what you want to go ahead and do is hook it up, positive positive, negative negative. Alright, now that we have got our load tester hooked up, you're going to see the needle jump to about 12 volts. And this is no load on it. What you're going to see is a little button at the bottom. Click it for a couple seconds and see what number it goes to. It shouldn't be below 9. I really don't like anything below 10, but let's go ahead and give that a reading. Just about 11. So we have about 400 cranking amps in the battery, which isn't bad. It's not perfect, but as you can see, the battery is good. This tool is nice because I work on a lot of vehicles, and I'm generally working on them by myself. I don't have somebody there to tell me what the battery voltage went to while I'm cranking, so I can kind of replicate a engine pulling current by this. You're not going to want to load test this for too long because it gets really hot underneath here. Alright, let's say you've done all those tests, your car still doesn't start, seems like there's no power in the battery, but from these tests, your battery does have power. Here's a couple things to look for. Go ahead and go to your battery. This is a side post terminal battery. You might have a top post where the terminals are up on top. What I like to do is just go ahead and give your cables a little wiggle. You won't believe how many times I've had cars come in, customer says, hey, I want a new battery, how much do you charge? And I say, well, first let's look at your battery cables, let's look at the connections. These seem to be pretty tight, which is good, of course, because the vehicle's starting. So go ahead and check for loose connections. Current and volt cannot flow through a small window, which is what a bad connection is, high resistance. Go ahead and tighten up your clamps as well. Now, if by chance you see a lot of green fuzz or just a lot of funky thing, looks like the battery's thrown up and having a bad day, that can actually be a bad connection as well. That can lead to a bad connection. Maybe there's a hole in your battery too. This battery is sealed. There is no water in here. A lot of batteries these days are sealed, some aren't. But if it isn't sealed, there's normally a little caps. There might be 2 caps on here or 6 caps depending on who manufactured your battery, and check to see if there's water. If there is no water in there, that's generally a really bad sign. You can try adding a little bit of the distilled water in there. Don't put regular water, that's not good for it. They're made to have distilled water in there, and charge your battery up. That might be your problem, especially here in Arizona, the desert Southwest. Water likes to evaporate during the summer. It doesn't like to stick around at 120 degrees, especially because your engine's nice and hot. One thing other than heat that absolutely kills batteries too is vibration. Make sure your battery clamp, which this one does not, I'm gonna have to get one for it. Vibration is a major killer of these acid lead-filled batteries. There are batteries that are a little bit more prone to handling, or a little bit better handling vibration, such as those Optimas. Those are really good batteries. Those are gel filled. This is just water and acid, so go ahead and get yourself a hold down clamp if you don't have one. That's just going to help you out. Alright, here we are on another vehicle, and I just want to show you guys this real quick. I have my lead on the negative terminal, and I'm going to put it on the positive real quick. And as you can see, we got about 12.5, which is good. But what you're gonna see here is a lot of water on top of here, and these are normal on 65 group batteries and a bunch of other top post batteries. And you might not think it's a big deal, but actually this water is shorting out this battery. Water is conductive, as some of you might know, and because there is acid on this water, it's super conductive. And what is actually happening is called external discharge, where the water is creating a path for the energy to flow from the positive to the negative side, which can really kill your battery. So if you see this, clean that off, get some baking soda and water, and that actually neutralize the chemical reaction that's taking place, just to prove to you that there is voltage and amperage flowing on the top side of the battery. This is plastic. This is plastic's doesn't have any continuity to it. It can't conduct electricity. So I'm just gonna hold this here, and I'm gonna go over to my voltmeter. I don't know if you can see that, but there's 3 volts. I'm not even on the metal. So there's just to show you guys how much, and I'm just moving it around, how much external discharge can kill a battery. So keep that in mind as you guys pop your hoods and see this. So that pretty much covers how to check your battery. Hope this video has been helpful. If you have another way of checking your battery, I know there's many ways, but I want to hear about it. I'm always open ears. I like to learn. Tell me what you think. If you guys have any questions at all, I normally respond pretty fast. Feel free to ask. I can help you out. I'm more than willing. So if you like this video, please like the like button, or press the like button and subscribe. Hope you have a good one. See you next time.